These are our strikes from Muay Thai level pink. A forearm push. So if I'm fighting my opponent and I need to make some distance, possibly because I can't get a punch in otherwise if it's a longer range opponent, and I need to try and fire off a kick or make some distance off the ropes or the side of the cage, I can do what's called a forearm push. So from this position, I'm not striking with the elbow or the hand, but the ulna of my lead arm. So I'm in this position, I step forward as if I'm throwing a jab, but I use my whole body and straight in with my forearm with my lead hand. So from straight on, my forearm push looks like this. 1. So if I use the heavy bag, I'm trying to hit flat and flush with that. So I'm not hitting with the elbow, not hitting with the hand, but everything is 1. We turn our hand to the side, our lead hand to the side to do that forearm push and try and get as much range from the shoulder as you can to try to fit in between our opponent's hands as we strike. Forearm push. If I'm here. Forearm push. The forearm check. The forearm check is one of the quicker ways to block a front kick. From my fighting position here, if my opponent throws their teep kick at body height, I can quickly check with my forearm on either side. I can step out with it as I check. Make sure to note on that forearm check that as I drop a hand to do this, I'm leaving myself exposed for a high roundhouse kick. So if I'm going to do this, I need to be confident in my timing and bring my hand right back to the head as soon as I'm done with it. An uppercut elbow. The uppercut elbow is a very, very quick strike. Using my lead hand, I would step forward for distance or range and bring my hand back in order to try and strike under my opponent's chin or nose with the tip of my elbow. Uppercut elbow. Horizontal elbow. The horizontal elbow is very, very powerful. It takes a little bit longer to throw. I'll start with my lead hand here. I'm going to shuffle forward to try and make some range out of that. And I'm turning my elbow and palm down horizontally like this. Without my right arm in the picture just for a second, the idea is to hit with the front and tip of the elbow on my lead hand or lead arm. 1. Now when I'm doing this, I'm exposed for my opponent throwing a counter elbow at me. So I want to make sure that I cover correctly. If I'm here, this isn't enough and it binds up my hands. When we throw that horizontal elbow, I cover with my right hand like this. 1. If you end up throwing that elbow quite hard, you can add a rotation out. Mountain elbow. My mountain elbow drops down, so I'm picking that lead elbow up and I'm dropping it down just like I'm creating kind of how I would draw a mountain. So from this position here, I pick it up and drop it down. The point is I'm trying to hit with the tip of my elbow and cut my opponent on the cheek or orbital socket and in like that. Right hand comes up to check. Spike elbows. Throwing a good spike elbow, I'm usually dropping it from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock or from 6 o'clock up to 12 o'clock. The idea of it is just like you're hammering a spike into a piece of wood. This position, spike elbows are almost always thrown best if I can hook my opponent's neck in a single arm clinch, drop it down and strike towards the opponent's trap or clavicle from this side. Or I can do the inverse. Spinning spear elbows. Just like I'm throwing a spinning back kick, when I go to throw my spinning spear elbow, my left foot adjusts in front of my right, I pivot, I drop, and I strike with the spear or tip of my elbow and come back. If you need to make that a longer range weapon, I do my step, I adjust. When I'm here, I step in with that right foot to throw that spinning spear elbow. And that's our spinning spear elbow. Elephant's tusk elbow. From this position, when I go to throw that elbow either needs to drop down at a 45-degree angle this way, it's coming in, boom, or I come up at that angle as well. So the point is that I'm kind of bringing it in like a shovel hook. It's not coming straight up like a spike elbow, and it's not coming like a spear elbow that could come on the horizontal line. The elephant's tusk elbow drops down or up. Elephant's tusk elbow.